Hey guys, welcome back to Hero Games. It's your boy Red. Today we're going to be looking at a deck profile for the new Digimon TCG BT5 format, Red, WarGrey, Omnimon. While never previously playing well at my own locals, this week we won 3 out of 4 rounds, winning against things like Yellow LordKnightmon, Blue Imperialdramon, as well as Blue Hexeblaumon. So let's take a look into what we put into this today and see what made a little bit of differences in our game. So starting off with our level 2 Digitamers, we are running 4 copies of BT5 Koromon. BT5 Koromon's pretty simple. If he's a Greymon or a Omnimon, his heritable effect is when attacking, draw 1 card. So that adds some nice, really draw power to the deck, as well as, look at that picture. Look at that good boy. Look at him eat his meal. I love Koromon. In addition to the Koromon, we also run just 1 copy of starter deck Koromon. No real reason here. The heritable is nice. If you get up a stack, get the extra 1000 DP. But for the most part, we'll really be wanting this guy, and he's just there to fill that extra 5th slot, because why not? And it keeps in theme. Moving into our level 3s, we are playing 4 copies of the new BT5 Agumon. BT5 Agumon is fantastic in this deck. On play, which is a 3 cost by the way, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add a Greymon and a Omnimon to your hand. So he's a fantastic search option, because almost everything in this deck is a Omnimon or a Greymon. Next, we run 4 copies of starter deck Agumon. Again, nothing too special here. The 3-drop and heritable plus 1000 DP help us swing over those really big security stacks. We could potentially swing over any security card if we get the right stack built up on this. Next, we run 4 copies of the 2-drop Black Agumon. It counts as a Agumon, so nothing too crazy, while the 1-cost evolution is a little bit of a downside at times. He is searchable with other elements of this deck because he is an Agumon, so I'd rather keep him here as opposed to things like the 2-drop Guilmon, for example. Lastly, our last level 3 is 4 copies of BT3 Guilmon. I'm sorry, BT2 Guilmon. There is no BT3 Guilmon. So BT2 Guilmon, he's a 3-drop. He has the inheritable similar to the Agumon. There's 5 or more cards in your opponent's trash. Get an extra 1000 DP. Very relevant against things like purple. He's not searchable with his deck. He's really here just filling in that 4th slot. If I want to switch him out for something, I might switch him out for Digiburst Agumon from BT4. But since we're not running Digiburst here, I opted for just the increased DP. Moving into our level 4s, we are running 4 copies of BT5 Greymon, the new Greymon. So this is a fantastic card. First off, if he's digivolving on top of an Agumon, you will gain 1 memory, essentially cutting his cost in half. His inheritable gives an extra 2000 DP if there's a Greymon or an Omnimon on top of him. So this is a fantastic build with this, getting a really big security swing, as well as evolving for real cheap. And if paired with a Tamer that we'll see later on, it can be a free evolution. Our next level 4, we're running 4 copies of the starter deck Greymon. It's a 2-cost to evolve as well, and has the inheritable of security plus 1, so that's pretty self-explanatory. Nice standard card in any red deck. Our last level 4, running 4 copies of the new BT5 Monchromon. Red finally got a 1-cost blocker. Nice cheap evolve card, nice cheap blocker card, as well as he's a nice dino, so if that's the theme of this deck, why not? For our level 5s, it gets a little more interesting. We're running 2 copies of starter deck MetalGreymon. Nothing too special here. He's a 3-cost to evolve, inheritable. When blocked, gain 3 memory. We're not really playing to get blocked per se, but if it does happen, it happens, and it's nice to have. The other kind of main star of this is 2 copies of BT1 MetalGreymon, the secret rare variety. So this card can really buff up. This card is a beast. First off, can we talk about the art, that Digimon World 1 MetalGreymon style art? If you know, you know. But security attack plus 2 by itself, so you combine that with the Greymon Agumon DP boost, that is a very high swinging attacker, already checking 3 or 4 securities potentially, depending on how you have it built up. Now the downside is it does cost 5 memory, so we don't really want to swing with it, but if we do have to swing with it, it will definitely hurt. Pairing up with those MetalGreymons, we have 3 copies of the new MetalGreymon Alterous mode. So MetalGreymon Alterous mode preferably can digital on top of a MetalGreymon, but he can also just be the level 5 by himself. If he does go on top of the MetalGreymon, we can destroy a 4000 DP or less Digimon, and he gets stacked with those inheritables, so we can get the extra 3000 DP of this MetalGreymon, or get the plus 3 memory unblocked. All off 1 evolution, so this is a nice kind of substitute card as to make a makeshift to level 6 if you don't have a level 6 yet. Fantastic option, I quite like it, and it's still searchable with the Agumon. For our level 6s, we are of course running 2 copies of the bad boy himself, WarGreymon from Booster Set 1, Security Type +1 on Digivolve, but most importantly, he's only a 3-drop, so it's very easy to get him out and swing, and he doesn't check security cards, so it's going to counter your Trump Swords, your Gaia Forces, your Coyotes, Breaths, whatever Blue has going on. Option cards, no problem at all. But the real fun comes not from the WarGreymon, but rather from my 2 copies of BlitzGreymon from BT3. This is the card that catches people off guard. Most people are expecting the WarGreys. There's just so many different WarGreymon options, so many good ones. And you toss out this BlitzGreymon here to de-digivolve their boss monsters and even maybe swing for Pierce to delete what's left. Super nice card, comes in super clutch a lot of times. Highly recommend it. I love this boy. Normally, the 4-cost evolution is a downside, but when paired with a Tamer we'll see up ahead, you can reduce that down, potentially all the way up to just a 1-cost evolution. And finally, the main show of the deck here, we are running 2 copies of the new BT5 Omnimon. It is a 4-cost level 7, so pretty cheap level 7. It has Blitz on Digivolve, so we can attack with Blitz when we go past the memory. And then also on Digivolve, he unsuspends. So if we had already attacked with the WarGreymon before, that's no problem at all. We're still attacking again, or we can Blitz and then unsuspend to protect ourselves, depending on the situation. And on all turns, we can toss his level 6 to protect him from an effect. So this is nice Omnimon to keep on the pressure, and it's very safe to play. I love it. It's also easy to pull out of the booster boxes. For our Tamers, we are running 1, 2, 3 copies of the new lovely Nokia from BT5. This card is made for these kind of decks of either red or blue. On play, you get to play a Agumon or Agumon straight from your hand. Preferably, you want it to be this boy here. So he plays for free if you play Nokia, and then you get to search on top of it. So you get to double stack those on-play effects for nice combos there to really build up your hand. And then she can be tapped to reduce the evolution cost of any Greymon or Omnimon by 1 cost. So those 2-cost Greymons become 1 cost. Those 3-cost level 5s become 2 cost. And they stack, so you could potentially be getting free level 5s and 1-cost level 6s. Fantastic card when you get them up on the field. To pair this up, I have 2 copies of Marcus Damon. I play him just for the 3 memory that you get. So if you get him on the field, you're getting guaranteed at least 3 memory, which if you have him and a few Nokias, you can really play a lot of plays with like no memory. And then he also gains memory when a Greymon attacks. So when you get these 2 on the field together, you're playing a lot of memory control, which is fantastic for this deck. You can get a lot really quick. For our option cards, we are running 1, 2, 3 copies of Transcendent Sword, the new red variant to the Gaia Force, if you will. On play, delete a Digimon with 11,000 DP, or if you have a Greymon or Omnimon, you can bump that up to 15,000 DP, which is pretty much any card in the game. I don't think a single Digimon has more than 15,000 DP naturally. And it's only 7 costs as opposed to Gaia Force's 8 costs, so that's why I like to run this one. I've never had a situation where I couldn't destroy something with it. It's 1 memory less, so if I have to hard play it, if I'm at 3 memory, my opponent's only getting 4, that 1 memory makes a lot of difference. And that's 49 cards in our 50 card deck. Our last card is the surprise winning card of the game, Mega Digimon Fusion. Mega Digimon Fusion allows you to evolve a level 7 for 0 memory, basically. Well, specifically reduces evolution by 6 memory, which is pretty much 0 memory. The downside is that you lose it the next turn. But this is where it comes into play, right? There's so many games where I need to have the Omnimon on the field without spending any memory to win the game. Even with the Blitz, in some situations, it's not enough. So you play Mega Digimon Fusion, evolve to the Omnimon. Omnimon can attack because he's unsuspending. And then when you clear out the threat, then you're free to swing with your last card for a game if there's a threat that Omnimon needs to get rid of. Fantastic card, fantastic combo. It won me at least 3 separate matches playing over the week. Another thing not to underestimate on this deck is the sheer DP stacking, right? You have this Agumon with this Greymon, this MetalGreymon, even Alterous mode even, on top of your level 6 of choice. That is a lot of DP. That is 12,000 DP plus 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 2,000. You're swinging over any potential security Digimon in that play. Nothing short of a option card will take you out. And even if it does, this WarGreymon instead will swing free of option cards. So with this guy, you're pretty much checking free into security. I can't think of a single card in that security stack, if you have this build up, that will stop your swings. It's fantastic. And then you can continue it with Omnimon right on top. Alright guys, thanks for checking out my deck profile here. I definitely have to say the highlight of it's probably the BlitzGreymon. This is probably the card that I threw in on a whim that I was not expecting to come up much, but this card won me some games over the week. It's fantastic. People aren't expecting it. People are expecting usually the WarGrey strat. The Blitz catches them off guard. I took out 2 Hexeblaus back to back with this card, get the Digivolve on one, Pierce into the other. It was a fantastic setup. But let me know what you think. If you have any suggestions for what to add to this, how do you like to run your red WarGreymon / Omnimon build? If you're new to this channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you're coming here for the first time for Digimon card content, I'll probably be doing more of this here. There's a lot of video game stuff on here, but I am super in love with this new TCG. I'm going to be covering it more. Me and the boys can be putting up more videos here. So definitely stick around, check it out if you're here for the TCG. And thanks again for watching the video. I'll catch you guys next time.